What is up, guys? I'm going to be flying America's best airline and America's second best airline, Delta versus Alaska. Let's see how it goes. Just past TSA, so now it's time to head to my gate. Whew. Oh my God. Finally, it arrived. Let's board.
6B6. Thank you.
Thank you. Alright, this is round 2. Let's see if we can get those trading cards once again. Hello, may I ask the pilots a question?
Yeah, of course.
Excuse me, do you guys have those training cards?
We do. I got one 737.
Woo! Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
After passing through the whole plane, I found my seat, which was a window seat. Once I sat down, I noticed that the screen actually worked instead of last time. With the screen now being available, I can set up everything and start checking out a whole selection of movies, shows, and even check out a visualization of the flight plan, something I loved since Google Earth. And speaking of flight plans, today's flight plan is from Seattle to Las Vegas with Delta. Then I will take a 4-hour drive down to Los Angeles during my trip, and I will talk more about that in my upcoming vlog. Then I will fly back to Seattle along with Alaska. So now with the main thing out of the way, I'm gonna say enough talking and let's get into the air. Once we hit cruising altitude, I then took a look around. Underneath the seat is enough space for a backpack, handbag, and a couple more items. The legroom is somewhat small, but it's alright. Inside the seat pocket is all the essentials, like Delta's safety pamphlet and a waist bag. The pull-out tray table was a good size and cleaned very well. And looking back at the screen, the reaction time is actually a lot better than what I was expecting. The seat cushion and headrest was great, and I do have another recliner button, but I'm not going to test it because I hate disturbing people. But with the plane now in great condition, I'm going to assume it works well, unlike last time. Eventually, I did get a snack and a drink, which is just like any other economy snack. I did take control of the screen by watching Top Gun Maverick. Great film, by the way. Watching this film with turbulence throughout the whole flight made it immersive. I also enjoyed looking out the window to see a layer of clouds and unfortunately getting blinded by the sun. No, seriously, it was so bright. And of course, we can't leave without a lavatory review. Every wall was covered in mirrors that are very clean, the sink looked ordinary with running water and soap dispenser, and the floor was not sticky but a few drops of some substance. Unfortunately, all good things do have to come to an end, so we're just gonna sit back, relax, and enjoy our descent into Las Vegas. I guarantee you the first thing you'll see is a casino. And there we go, there's a casino. Alright guys, I am here at John Wayne Airport in Orange County. And Delta, I mean, it's mediocre, it's alright. I mean, it does have a little bit better experience on the airline, but we're just gonna have to save until the end of, in my opinion, at the end of the video. Alright, so now it's time to fly Alaska, time to head to my gate. Gotta pass through TSA first, so let's go. Alright guys, so just past TSA. Honestly, that was the nicest TSA interactions I've ever had. Like seriously, honestly, shout out to the John Wayne TSA team. But now it's time to head to gate 13 and oh, there it is. It's already there. Beautiful, alright. Gonna stop by, sit down and wait for 3 hours. Even longer than last time. Let's go. Alright, time to board. Alright, second flight. Let's see how this one goes. Once I boarded the plane, I found my seat, which is another window seat. Now, since I've flown with Alaska many times before, but I haven't given them a proper review yet, I'll just review it while we're in the air so I can get situated with my main airline after 2 years of no Alaska flights. So we'll just sit back and head into the skies. Alright, now that we're in the air, it's time to review. Immediately, I noticed that the legroom was amazing. Not like business class, but it's very good for economy. It's the same length as my hand. The storage space can fit a backpack, handbag, neck pillow, and a gold block pretty comfortably. The seat pocket is netted, which I kinda like more than solid one. You can see what you have inside the pocket. The outlet port is kinda dated with only one USB-A port. The tray table is just as large as Are you serious right now? Someone must have enjoyed those Biscoff cookies. Anyway, the pull-out tray table was just as big as Delta's with 2 cup placements instead of 1. The top pocket contains Alaska's promotions and ads, a safety pamphlet, and a waist bag. The seat was a bit on the stiffer side, but still had some padding. I also really like the tilting headrest adjustment instead of just the sides folding. This might be the first time I've acknowledged that, but if any other airlines I've flown on have that, I apologize. There's also another recliner button, but once again, I'm not going to test it. Maybe next time though. As I looked out the window, I realized that the window shade is chipped a little. Someone must be trying to mess up my seat specifically because I've never seen this much mess in one seat. Looking further, the tray table frame is kinda sticky, and looking around the seats, this might be the most worn seat padding I've ever seen for Alaska. It's way too used, which means this is an older plane. Eventually, I did get a snack and a drink, and I gotta say, these snacks saved the rest of the flight. These are the best economy snacks I've had by far. I always get orange juice on a plane, but the past several times they've been bitter. But this one is straight orange, no bitterness. I also noticed that they got rid of the plastic cups and changed them to paper. Pretty good quality too for paper. And the snacks were a new pretzel twist flavor I've never had before, but they blew my mind. Halfway through the flight, I decided to pull out my downloaded movies. The Martian is also a great film. Now the lavatory review. I did think this was a little more on the dirty side halfway through the flight, but what can you expect? It's a lavatory after all. But what I will say is the mirror is very clean. Once I got back, I wanted to pull down the shades, but forgetting what I reviewed an hour ago, that little chip broke off. Alright, we are nearing towards the end of the flight, so we're just going to kick back and watch as we descend into Seattle. First time taking a little trip down the air stairs or air ramp onto a bus. No gate this time. W bus. I have so much confidence that I do not need to hold on to anything. All you gotta do is just have a wide stance, and that's it. You don't need to hold on to anything. Save the other handles for anyone else. That's my advice. If you fall, blame it on me. That's my fault. That's nice right there. It's dark, but I like this interior lighting. It's double. We're about to get dropped off at our supposed gate. Spirit. Not touching anything.
There's the end gate.
We're good.
Look, the end gate.
Normally we take like a bus or a subway inside the airport, but this time it's pretty nice. We get to go outside, take a nice lovely drive down the airport where passengers are normally not allowed to be, but here we are. There's a designated bus stop. Okay.
At the G.
That was a good bus trip. Only hit the door once. I'm gonna give my brief thoughts about Alaska for a second. I use them quite often. I use them like every year. Every year I use them often for my vacation trips. And they do a pretty satisfying job. This one might be the most satisfying trip I've ever gotten on Alaska. No turbulence whatsoever. And a pretty decent landing. They're pretty good. But compared with Delta, I'm not sure. Let me collect my thoughts. Alright, I'm back from my trip. Let's start reviewing, and we are still going to use that flight criteria system from the first review. So, let's begin. Alright, so Delta Airlines, we're just going to use the same one that we've gotten from the last Delta flight. So now we can just move on to Alaska and see if it ranks higher or lower than Delta. For on-time performance, I'm going to say 9 out of 10, because the boarding process, the boarding time was actually right on time, but the departure time, it was like 1 to 2 minutes late, so 9 out of 10. Service will be a 7.5 out of 10. It's very good. Don't get me wrong, it's very good, but it's not the best. Comfort, 7 out of 10. It's all right. It's all right for domestic flights. It's not ideal for international flights. It's a notch above Spirit Airlines seats. It is just leather on top of metal. So, but it is better though. It has better padding, so 7 out of 10. Cleanliness, I'm gonna say 8.5 out of 10. The public areas, like the lavatories, those are all clean, except for the seats. They did not do a very good job cleaning the seats. But my big concern is the public areas, so 8.5 out of 10. And price. For this flight from California to Seattle, we're looking at around $60 per person. And compared with Delta from here to Vegas, that's $80 for Delta. So it's a lot cheaper, but it isn't the best though. It isn't the best bang for your buck. So I would say 6 out of 10. But I mean, come on now. Compare with Spirit, like $10. Oh my God, that would be a 10 out of 10. But compare with everything else on our list, I'm gonna say 6 out of 10. It's the average of plane ticket prices, and that leaves Alaska with a 7.6 out of 10, and Delta still has a 7.7 out of 10. They're very, very close, but once again, they're both good in their own visions. If you just care about going to point A to point B and want to have a little bit higher of a mediocre airline, Alaska's your choice. And once again, if you care about comfort, cleanliness, service, Delta is your choice. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.